for you, having joined in today. We are very excited to have this, 1 hour session today. Under the UK-India tech partnership, the British government has joined forces with leading clean tech accelerators in India and the UK, with aim to strengthen the clean tech startup ecosystem by helping them gain access and establish powerful connections with venture capital networks in both countries, as well as various corporates to adopt the solutions. Act for Green stands for Accelerating Clean Tech for Green, a program by the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office (FCDO) of the UK government. So each company presenting over here, as I said, would get 15 minutes time to showcase their solutions to our corporate partners who have joined in today. 10 minutes of presentation and 5 minutes of Q&A. So the first one to go is Minion Labs, efficient energy auditors who work on calculating the individual energy consumption of any appliance, device or tool in your premises with the help of AI and IoT. And today we have the speaker, Mr. Gokul Shrinivas, who is CEO of Minion Labs. Over to you, Gokul. You can start off and walk us through with your topic of energy management and energy efficiency using IoT. Thank you.
Thank you, Uday, for the introduction. And without much wasting time, I'm Gokul Shrinivas, founder and CEO of Minion Labs. Minion Labs is an energy efficiency company, and I hope you must have seen this hospital photos. It's one of the premium chain of hospitals in India, and their annual electricity bill was approx 200K US dollars, which is 18 lakhs. 1.5 crores in Indian rupees, and they had saved 18 lakhs, that is approx 25K US dollar. Of energy savings. And this happened in a critical care unit where it's not like any other residence or industry or any other corporate sectors. To save electricity would be much easier than a critical care unit, because whatever we are doing over here should not impact the patient's life there. So with that criticality, we could able to save this much of savings, and we have done much more in other sectors like Society Generally, Cisco Systems, Accenture, Manipal Hospitals, and much more. So in order to save electricity cost in any building, be it even a residence to industry, the facility maintenance or the MEP engineer should have each and every appliance level or equipment level energy consumption data. Then only they can able to understand the electricity they are procuring inside the building, where it is getting distributed, and how much each and every equipment is consuming. Then only they can possibly figure out the problems, like it could be the wire pilferages, or is there any leakages, or if the equipment itself is consuming more than what it is required. All of these problems can be found out, and actions can be taken, which in turns as energy savings. So in the present market, in order to get that data, individual data, you have these traditional meters where you will have to install meters for each and every equipment. If you think about your sector, maybe some hospitals, a hotel, or commercial corporate buildings, there could be 500 plus equipments. You can't go and install that many meters. It's a high capital investment, which no one prefers. Or the person could be smart enough to get a smart meter. The only difference between the traditional meter and then the smart meter is, instead of big bulky meters, you're going to put small sensors again for each and every appliances and devices dedicatedly. Not only that, there's a perk of smart meter is those sensors, there's an installation cost, there is a maintenance cost is involved for the sensors because it degrades over a period of time. And globally, these smart meters maximum they support 10 appliances per meter. So that means you need again multiple devices, gateways, and then these sensors. And after investing all of this, when would be the return on investment would be a big question. So what if I can give you a single device, a single point of connect in the building, still able to give you each and every appliance level data. So basically it's a sensorless device where with all the sensors, there's additional costings. I have taken totally out of those sensors business, and the return on investment will like accelerate immediately or like within few months. And how this system works is it goes and installs in the MCB or the bus bar panel or any electrical panel, just like a plug and play. And we have two variations. Basically, it's a smart meter or electricity meter with edge capabilities. And within 3 minutes, it can be installed and data to the cloud through Wi-Fi. And once the device has been installed, what it does is it starts capturing a lot of energy signatures. To give an example for a layman perspective, after installing, like suppose I'm installing this device at your home residence and at the MCB board, where if you switch off, the whole building electricity goes off. And after installing it, I'm asking it to turn on a washing machine. So how does a washing machine works? Number one, it fills water. Number two, step by step rotation. Third and fourth will be like faster and even more faster. If you put that in a graph, you get some sort of noise or some signature like this, because while filling water, there is no motor activity, so straight line. And then a step by step rotation, there will be up and down ripples, and then faster and even more faster. So likewise, every appliance which consumes electricity will produce some sort of noise signatures like it. If you look at these different graphs, if you look at air conditioner, it initially starts and then the compressor turns off. If you look at the boiler, it immediately shoots up and then goes. And there are different color patterns also. Like when air conditioner turns on at 16 degree is different from 30 degree. And in a fan mode, likewise, there are different patterns would form, and each represent that unique mode, or like at what time the compressor is turned on, at what time your air conditioner, the blower is turned on. And these would be in a time series data. In a normal residence, when I ask you to turn on a washing machine and then the air conditioner, you will take at least 1 second between on and off. And in a corporate sector, where like all the lamps which is in the ceiling would be tied up or like connected to one single switch, where if you turn on, there are hundreds of lamps turns on at like 1 second. So that is 100 is to one event kind of. So in order to go much accurate and disaggregate multiple appliances, what we have done is we have gone behind the millisecond, that is capturing microsecond data. A system can able to capture like approx 4 million data at every second. That is roughly 40 lakhs of data. And at the edge itself, it detects all these patterns instead of sending that huge sum of data at every second to the cloud. And once the patterns are detected at the edge, the detected patterns alone goes to the cloud, and then we perform various kinds of analytics. Before going into the analytics, this is the point where we completely avoid the sensors. If not Minion, any facility, any MEP engineer would have to go and install sensors and meters for each and every equipment. With the Minion, they save that upfront capital and the operational investments upfront over there. And that is like more than 10 times or 20 times of the capital investment. Now getting into the analytics, we perform like descriptive analytics, which is general smart meter features. And in the diagnostic analytics, we perform like several types of benchmarking to see how much is the appliances the degrading from the initial, like from the new system to like until maybe a 1 year old or 2 year old, how it is performing versus the star rating or the label rating of that particular appliance. And since we are getting a kind of a signature or kind of a signal, we do a signal analysis and various digital signal processing, and we find the root cause analysis, which particular component inside the system is getting degraded, and what you have to do to reduce that degradation, or like to improve the system not to consume more electricity. And prediction, we're going to see how much it is going to degrade and how much it is going to sit in your electricity bill, and what are the ways you can avoid those. And artificial intelligence, though the name is catchy, what we believe is the data and the decision. So far we have like 232 enterprises like Fortis, like Accenture, like Cisco is using our system, and they have like a lot of appliances. We know its performance, we know what kind of problems it will create, and what is the available solutions. Whenever the same characteristics of problems is being found in any of the clients, then the system will automatically shoot a notification or either WhatsApp or SMS text, and what is the problem, and for that problem, what is the solution available, and if they perform the solution, how much is the energy savings is the potential available over there. And though we have a dashboard where they can able to sit, track multiple buildings in a single dashboard and look at each and every appliance level, but a notification like that would help them to act immediately rather than a postmortem report. So we have all these in the right hand side, you have these appliances balls. Whenever new appliances turned on, you get a ball over there, and if you click it, you will know the logs of it. And we also provide them a Excel sheet or the PDF reports of the time sheet, when it is on, when it is off, what was the benchmarking, prediction. There were a couple of use cases also, like a Fortis Hospital is looking at profitability at each and every scan of the MR emission. Per scan, what is the consumption plus the overheads versus the billing and number of people they need to scan to look at the break even and the profitability. Similarly, there is a Wonderla who's looking at profitability at every roller coaster ride, how many people they have to onboard to be a break even. And we also a little part of the CSR activity. We benchmark that particular 50-bed hospital versus other 50-bed hospital and see how much this 50-bed hospital is producing carbon footprint comparing to others. If this building is very high, then we're going to give them a rank as high. And it's not just only Minion into energy management. We have partners like solar panels. We have partners like vertical gardening, who like a kind of a consortium, we help them to reduce their carbon footprint. And so far, since incorporation, that is 2017, we have received more than 38 international awards, starting from Sri Narendra Modi himself, Prime Minister of India, to Crown Prince of Dubai, to Singapore High Commission, Government of Finland, Vienna, etc. And WhatsApp also partnered with us as an equity stakeholder, and where all these notifications are being sent in WhatsApp. We are a national startup award, especially in IoT category. And press articles, we have a granted patent on this complete energy signatures and couple of publications. And these are all the pretty much clients who are using Minion. Saudi Aramco, the $3 trillion company, and then a couple of other real estate and properties. And we also work on the channel partner basis, where we access these big corporate buildings through a channel partners, like maybe a smart city leads, or maybe sustainability group, or maybe a solar panel company, or maybe through the utilities, etc. And we are a core team of 11, but at present we are 29. And I take care of the business development part, and I have a CTO who's like 15 years of experience working in and around of cloud architectures, and other team members like a double PhD in electrical and data science with 18 years of from Intel, ex Gokul, ex Robert Bosch, etc. And this is an impact evaluation by WWF India, where we have saved so far approx like 250k kilowatt hours of electricity, which is equivalent to 712 metric tons of CO2 saved in last 3 years. And they have given a kind of award, Climate Solver of India award. And then we signed a MOU to like say 32 billion kilowatt hours of electricity with 1.3 million minions installed, and that is our goal for 2030 in mostly into the SME category. And until this part, this is energy efficiency. And in this lockdown, what we understood is energy efficiency. What we are doing inside the building is very minimal, and just capturing these energy signatures, avoiding the sensors, and help the clients to save electricity. And in this lockdown, we understood energy management. The name is very wide. So we just improved our system features. A single device can able to do normal energy management, and also we have a end-to-end TUVs IoT security certified, and also if the building has a solar panel on the top, then the same device can able to get connected to the solar panels and help the buildings to effectively use the solar free electricity generated by the solar much inside the building rather than sending back to the grid. The same device can able to connect with the HVAC systems as well inside. And our devices are currently used in a couple of microgrid concepts, where like the neighbor can able to generate electricity and sell it to the next neighbor in blockchain based peer-to-peer trading. And
So, Gokul, sorry to interject. If you may want to have your Q&As started, that would be good. I mean, I appreciate really.
I'm done almost. So if the building has HVAC, so it can able to connect. We also work with a couple of PTC, ThingWorks, and more. We also work with utilities and MG Motors for the EV grid, etc. So this is where I'm stopping my presentation. It's almost done. And a single device overall can able to connect with any of your assets inside the building or outside as well through LoRaWAN, etc. And able to perform the energy management effectively. So I'm open for questions.
Thanks, Gokul. Anyone who may want to ask question can unmute and ask, please. Yeah.
Hey, Shrinivas, this is Kamesh. The whole stadium is a huge industry, right? We've been looking at some of the stadiums, especially in the US. And right now, because of the pandemic, it's a little slow, but they're all gearing up for the post-pandemic scenario, and they're looking at potential energy savings there. Have you looked at any of the stadiums and what kind of gains you can get there?
We really didn't get into, you mean the, like the sports stadium, is it?
Absolutely, the sports stadiums, yeah.
So we haven't really got into any stadium, but if we have an opportunity, yes, we will look into that.
Sure, we'll probably connect offline, because
Sure.
there's a stadium based out of Philadelphia that are looking for the solution.
Sure, definitely.
Sure, Kamlesh, thanks. We could post our email ID in the chat session. You could get connected with us. And
Will do, sure.
yeah, you also have Gokul's email here. Anyone else for any quick last question before we have the? Can this device be used for residential properties? Is what is the question? Yeah.
We worked with a couple of real estates, mostly into the common area monitoring. But in terms of apartments and residential, this device system can able to pull out the entire apartment's individual appliance level data. But it's up to the flat owners who wanted to wish to share their privacy data to some others. If they do not, then they can install these devices dedicatedly. But we not got into B2C level selling. So directly to the real estates, and mostly they are using for the common area and the facility maintenance who are using it.
Okay. Thanks, Gokul. I think in the interest of time, are you going to be standing by? We'll start the second one. And in case at the end as well, if someone has any questions.
Sure.
Yeah. So the next one we have is Gravitricity, an energy storage technology, Ruth app, business development manager at Gravitricity. If you could take us through your, how you are scaling up in the mechanical energy storage market.
Yeah, can you see my screen okay?
Thanks.
Can you see my screen okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, wonderful. So, hi, I'm Ruth. I'm the business development manager at Gravitricity. We are based in Edinburgh in Scotland. We are developing a new form of mechanical energy storage. So in terms of energy storage, there's three types. There's chemical, which everyone's heard of, lithium-ion batteries. There's mechanical, like Gravitricity and pumped hydro. And then there's thermal, so anything like using hydrogen storage. So Gravitricity is developing a new form of mechanical energy storage. It works by lifting and lowering a weight up and down the shaft, with the winches at the top, as you see in this diagram, acting as the generators. Now, the technology components of the Gravitricity system, they are already existing, already at market, such as the winches and the cables and the weights. What makes us unique and what makes us novel, and why we've been granted 4 patents to date and 3 pending, is the way we're reconfiguring it to integrate into electricity grid. It's the software, it's the control response, it's the fact we can go from discharging to charging very quickly and vice versa. So it was founded in 2011 by the founders of Marine Current Turbines. We started as a company properly in 2016, just so we were ready for market fit. As I said, we have 4 patents granted, 3 pending. To date, we've raised 1.7 million from private investors, and we've been granted innovation grants from the UK government of 1.1 million. We're developing our system with an industrial partner, an industrial winch company, Dutch company Houseman. So they have expertise in developing cranes you find in ports. So why do we exist? Like any form of energy storage, it exists to enable the transition to zero carbon energy. It exists to enable more renewables and electricity networks worldwide. So it provides balancing for wind and solar. It provides to reduce intermittency. It enables on-site integration. It strengthens the existing grid infrastructure, and it allows existing islanded grids to work independently without diesel generators. They can have renewables on them. So that's all useful things. The market opportunity, so this is from Bloomberg New Energy Finance from 2018. They estimated the energy storage market to be worth $620 billion US. They revised that up last year in 2020 to $660 billion US. Obviously, this includes all forms of chemical and mechanical energy storage. IRENA estimated the pumped hydro market set to triple up to 2050 in size. Pumped hydro is probably the analogous technology because, like Gravitricity system, it's long asset life, long duration, and it's mechanical. So you're physically moving, you're moving the energy, you're moving water up a mountain, or you're lifting a weight up a shaft. Another key component of energy storage is actually preventing grid infrastructure upgrades to enable renewables onto them. So Bloomberg Energy Finance estimated that you're going to have to, the worldwide, there's going to have to be a $300 billion spend to upgrade grid infrastructure to accommodate renewables. If you have energy storage, then you don't need to spend that amount. So that's a really key market for energy storage as well, not just enabling an intermittency of renewables. So the technical characteristics of the Gravitricity system, what makes us unique? Why would you pick us over, say, lithium ion? It's the asset life. We've developed a long asset life to be at least 25 years in asset life. We are currently testing the system. We reckon we can go up to 50 years without any need to put in a new system. We have a high efficiency. That's currently being system tested. I'll come on to that. We have a small footprint. It fits in a shed, an agricultural shed by UK standards of 30 meters by 30 meters. It's all sunk below ground. There's no chemistry, no explosive risks. There's no chemistry involved. And it has and because it's got that long asset life, because comparatively to other technologies, it has a low levelized cost of storage. So this is some studies we undertook with Imperial College London. And because of our asset life, we're significantly cheaper than other options on the market at the moment. If you want to see a copy of these reports, please email me and I'm happy to share them. So route to market, there's two key components to this. We partner with industrial partners like Houseman to develop the system, and then we partner with specific project companies to develop a specific project in a specific location. Gravitricity's aim is to just produce the Gravitricity system. We don't want to build projects. We don't want to act as consultants to projects as such. So all of the contractors we work with to developing our Project A, our first of a kind project, are coming in to gain expertise to build a Gravitricity system, and then they'll be able to build it later on when we reach market. So this is our R&D plan. That demonstrator on the left, as you can see, that rendered diagram we've actually built. It's actually being tested right now. I'll come on to that in a second. So it's a 250 kilowatt scale concept of a full-scale system. It's above ground for health and safety reasons. It's grid connected. It's actually it's taken energy off and put energy back into the GB grid. So it's there working away. And now we're just doing the testing and testing the validation of the dynamic simulations we've done to date. I primarily work on developing the first full-scale prototype, which is we're designing it and then start building it in 2022, and then that'll be commissioned in 2023, early 2024. That'll probably be in Europe. And then the market, I'll come on to this a bit more, is that we'll expand into a few more projects and hit commercialization around 2025. So this is our concept demonstrator, as I mentioned. This is it being built. It's actually all now working. So it's two 25-ton weights, basically just to test the system dynamics and the ancillary services we can provide, like fast frequency response. We can go sub 1 second, and that's a very important revenue stream for certain energy storage projects. It's not the arbitrage from intermittency, it's actually providing ancillary services onto certain grid networks. So there's a range of host of revenue streams there that we're testing to make sure that we can provide those. So this will feed the testing from this will feed into our first full-scale project, which will be underground. So our growth plans is we're initially looking at areas that have existing mining because the shafts are already in existence. So such as Eastern Europe, South Africa, Australia, USA. We've got a number of sites lined up in Europe. And the primary reason for that is because of the just transition. They're moving away from coal. It's predominantly coal mining. They're closing the mines down and are looking for other things to do with the mines. So the mines come out of use, they get given to a local authority, and that makes it an ideal site for us because they're in very good condition, and a local authority is looking for other solutions, and renewable energy is a great solution for a next mine site. You're still going to have to deal with methane and making sure they're safe for the public, but that's a cost that you're going to have to deal with anyway, even if you didn't have Gravitricity system. And then the next stage of deployment to market is to make the system non-geographically constrained beyond coal mining regions. And with that, would sink purpose-sunk shafts, new purpose-sunk shafts. They don't have to be as deep because they're purpose-sunk, so there's the specific diameter There's less work involved, and that means geographically the Gravitricity system can be deployed anywhere, which makes it ideal if you want a long asset life energy storage solution, but say, for example, you want pumped hydro but don't have any mountains or don't have enough water. So that's what makes the Gravitricity system ideal. And currently, we're obviously, if you want a tour of our demonstrator site, you can email me, and I'll give you one virtually. That's quite happy to do that. And we are currently raising our Series A. If you want to hear more about that, then do let me know.
Thanks, Ruth. Awesome. I mean, if there are any questions, kindly unmute yourself and you may ask the question. So this is your email ID, right? info@gravitricity.com should be good enough for anyone to.
Yeah, I'll pick them up from there. Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Okay. Thanks. I mean, we would wait for a minute in case there are any questions. I would still want to possibly see. So India is also having a huge solar and renewable energy market. Just I have a quick question as to what are your plans to tap into that market?
Yeah, we made very early stage undertaking feasibility work in India. We applied for an energy catalyst grant for the UK government to do feasibility work in India. We're still waiting to hear the outcome of that. But it is certainly a market for us that's very interesting. It's probably a couple of years behind our work in Europe, though.
Okay.
But we'll start looking for project partners. But yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Okay, I guess we are sorted. Thanks, Ruth. Thanks very much. I appreciate and wishing you all the best. It's a great need and a big, huge market you're working on. So really wishing you very, very best on that. Yeah. So we have our third presenter today. SEaB Energy, turns your organic waste into energy right at the point where the waste is generated and the energy is required. We have Graham Allen, Head of Engineering, who would be walking us through recycling organic waste into energy. Graham, the floor is yours. Thanks. Yeah, we can see.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so thank you. Sorry, just move this out of the way. So I'm Graham Allen, Head of Engineering at SEaB Power Limited, trading as SEaB Energy. So what is the problem? So waste is the problem. In India, the 61 million tons of food is wasted each year, with an associated cost estimated at about 1 trillion rupees. 77% of this is dumped in open rubbish dumps, which releases methane gas into the atmosphere. And transporting the waste is also unsustainable. There's about 1 billion kilometers of food waste transported just in India each year. And one of the main reasons for so much food, so much wasted food in India is a lack of cold storage. And in addition to this, there's a real need for fertilizer, biofuel, and energy. So we've invented the FlexiBuster. It's a decentralized solution for recycling organic waste. We see every smart city, APMC or CSR, a corporate social responsibility focused company, installing our units to meet regulations around organic waste management and closed loop recycling. FlexiBuster is a modular appliance that converts organic waste using anaerobic digestion into electricity, cooling, bio-CNG, bagged fertilizer, and water. The technology is patented, and our patent covers any type of anaerobic digestion performed in a portable microgeneration apparatus. We have patents granted all over the world, with India in the final stages of granting. So far, we've sold units in France, UK, Italy, Portugal, USA. They're installed in buildings or next to buildings. They include Portugal's largest supermarket chain, Continent, and the New York City headquarters of a global tech company. And that system is installed actually in the basement of a Manhattan skyscraper. You can see our biggest and smallest units in these photos. So furthest to the left, we have a deployment in France, a waste management site. In the center, this is installed in a building on a university campus in Minnesota. And on the right-hand side is the Portugal supermarket deployment. So our systems are all delivered as plug-and-play turnkey solutions. They're modular, scalable, and redeployable. And our technology is designed with simple operation and ease of maintenance in mind. Only basic training is required, and all service items are commonly available standard parts. So our systems are engineered for a minimum of a 20-year service life. And this is valid, and our validated performance data demonstrates that a typical installation can pay back in around 3 to 4 years, which allows for decades of free revenue and the other benefits. So our designs have a long list of certifications that have either already been issued or in the process of being applied for. Our technology has been 10 years in the making now, of extensive testing in multiple climates and various applications. So our value proposition, FlexiBuster allows you to convert organic waste into CNG, carbon-free cold chain storage, and electricity with water, nutrient-rich bagged fertilizer in a fully closed-loop on-site solution. And we are the only company that's managed to develop small-scale, fully integrated anaerobic digestion technology that's certified to be applied in cities next to or even inside buildings. So far, our customers are municipalities, waste management companies, supermarkets, hotels, Fortune 500 corporations with more than 500 kilograms per day of organic waste. And their return on investment averages at 3.5 years. We're now launching our technology in India, where cities, APMCs, abattoirs can benefit from a long list of advantages that come from our technology. And we have received the first letter of intent for some units to be integrated into some bio-CNG fueling stations in India as part of India's move away from fossil fuels. So aside from these financial and core customer benefits, there's a whole list of CSR or societal benefits that come along with our offering. And these include education, for example, by providing electricity that can provide lighting for studying at night for homework. Poverty reduction by providing employment to operate and to maintain the equipment, and once we localize production in India to build the equipment. Gender equality, as you're probably aware, in many parts of rural India, women are tasked to go for firewood to be able to cook the meals, and hunger alleviation, of course, by providing fertilizer for farming, as well as energy for cold storage to reduce the problem of food waste. So there's very little direct competition. Why? Well, we've created something special. So FlexiBus is modular, remotely controllable, fully automated. It still wins on price. And our USP really is the convenience, features, and nuisance mitigation. And key to this is safety. So we have a proprietary odor control system. The technology is rodent-proof, and it's built to the same standards that govern the oil and gas industry. So it complies with all US and European explosive atmospheres regulations, ATEX, and various other rules that apply to oil and gas industry. So it's very tightly regulated. So as I said earlier, FlexiBuster is the only solution, or anaerobic digestion solution, designed and certified to be integrated inside buildings with embedded safety systems, gas storage, and the proprietary odor control system. So it's a unique solution for organic waste recycling in our future cities. The other systems in the Indian market now, they don't have these features, which they will need in the future, in the near future as things move on. So this would increase their costs. So our team, actually this slide is a little bit out of date because we've had 2 new members join this week. But to keep our pricing competitive, we're very efficient on cost, and we've kept our team very lean. So the 2 co-founders and myself, and as I say, two new members that need to be added to this slide. And we have long-standing partnerships with companies like NOV, LGT Group, Rockwell Automation that provide extra bandwidth when we need. So now is the right time to take advantage of our products, as climate action is on everyone's agenda. Waste is a problem, even in a pandemic, and the need will continue to increase with population growth around the world. Thank you.
Awesome, Graham. That was really nice. The FlexiBuster, I think the modular design was pretty good. And how long does it take for you to typically, install a one? I would say, if you'd like to just quickly share that.
Yeah, so we built the system in the factory. The cycle time to build is 2 to 3 months, depending on the supply chain. But once it leaves the factory gates, it's transported very easily by road, rail, or ocean freight. It gets delivered to site, dropped into place by a crane, and then the installation process is around 1 to 2 weeks, depending on the configuration and the size of the system. And then it takes around about a month to get up to full operating capacity, as the bacterial culture become accustomed to the feedstock.
Okay, thanks. Nacho, is there any question in the chat? I'm somehow not able to open the chat.
I can open the chat, so I can help you. The question is, what kind of infrastructure is needed to install our product on site? So mainly a solid foundation to put the equipment on, and then depending on how you wish to make use of the biogas. So, for example, to generate electricity, then of course we need a connection point to the electrical network to feed that electricity back into. If you want to use the biogas for cooking, then we need the access to the gas system to run that gas to the stoves. The system also needs electrical connection to operate, but unique from many other systems, it doesn't require any water connection. So many of our competitors require water input for the process. We don't. We make use. Our technology makes use of the water that's already contained within the waste that's being processed.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah. There's another one. Are you working with other third parties like drone operators for fertilizer spraying, etc.?
No, that's a really cool idea. No drone operators, but I would like to. So if you can make an introduction, that'd be great. We are working with other third parties to partner to market the fertilizer and to help our customers put the fertilizer to market to realize extra revenue from that. But so far, no drones. But yeah, that's cool. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, sounds cool idea. Yeah, thanks. There's another one. What route are you considering for entering India, and have you partnered with any municipal corporation or government agency?
No, we haven't, and we would love to. So that is the main route. So the main route that we're exploring is to partner with government agency, or perhaps a very large forward-thinking company, so somebody like Tata, perhaps. Yeah, so that's the approach that we are taking. So,
oh yeah, I mean this is a huge part. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I was just replying to Ashok's point in the chat, asking to connect. So yes, of course.
Sure, I think, we'll give you email ID where you could connect as well. So thanks. The numbers in India which you showed were really alarming, in terms of kind of waste it is. And I think, I hope and I wish that this really gets accelerated adoption in India. And we would continue to work together to see how best we could, build a traction on this. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks. I guess we are all sorted. No more questions, I guess, for now. So we have the last one today. Thanks, Graham, for coming over. And that was really awesome in terms of the product. Anyone who is interested, kindly get in touch, and we would be happy to connect you to Graham and take it forward. The last one is EEE Taxi. How employee transport solution for corporates through electric vehicles. We have Gaurav Trivedi, who is Chief Business Officer, EEE Taxi, and he would be walking us through in terms of the e-mobility adoption. How reducing scope 3 emissions, logistics cost, and travel time. And this is a topic which is, I think, a lot talked about these days by corporates, I'm sure. So, Gaurav, if you could take over, please. Thanks.
Thanks, Uday, for the introduction. And I also thank Incubate Hub for giving us this opportunity to present our solution. I would be sharing my screen. Yeah, so thanks once again. So we at EEE Taxi, we are making EV adoption simple, scalable, and sustainable. EEE Taxi is an end-to-end e-mobility solutions company. We bring, which help businesses reduce their employee logistic costs, travel time, and scope 3 emissions by bringing EVs, journey management technology, and charging infra. The key tenets of EEE Taxi are electric, eco-friendly, and economical mobility. The acronym EEE stands for electric, economical, and environmental friendly. Electric, we have electric cars. These are connected, work on app. They are very smart, intelligent solution which backs the whole solution that we offer. These are safe and reliable. Economical, these are no fuel price inflation or escalation. They have a very low running cost, and we offer very good value for money. Environmental friendly, zero emission, no tailpipe emission, regenerative braking, no traffic rationing. Cities like Delhi have been seeing traffic rationing, odd even. EVs are always exempted, and you accrue carbon credit. With this, there are many first in country that stand with EEE Taxi. We were the first to introduce the sedan e-Verito in 2015. We also bring in end-to-end green mobility solutions for the corporates, helping companies reduce their logistic cost and travel time. So what is the problem that EEE is trying to solve? In the existing cab market across the country, if you see, there is very high logistic cost with frequent fuel escalation. And if you see in the last 1 year or maybe more, the way fuel cost has been escalating, that has been, also dwindling and being passed on to the corporates who avail these services. Also, these IC engine cause very high vehicular pollution and carbon emissions. And if you see, rapid urbanization is seen that major metropolitan cities and others, they are increasing in their length and breadth. So the distance that that an employee travels is increasing. The illustration below, if you see, does show, with examples, that safety and procedure compliant in case of women traveling, especially during late night hours. So those are also some of the problems which exist in the ecosystem of cabs industry today. Opaque billing, that unverified and manual operations exist in the market. And manual coordination leads to a lot of frustration, and manual coordination over telephone with the driver, with the operator as to where the cab is and how to make the end user meet the cab. The solution which we offer is, by using our cabs, there's a cost saving which we give anywhere in the range of 5 to 30%. That depends on what kind of engagement you are with us. These are EV cars, which are 100% electric vehicles, zero scope 3 emissions at zero capex. So that's the point to be noted, that most of these larger organizations today have sustainability goals, and they want to abate scope 2 and scope 3 emissions. Scope 3 is one emission that's difficult to capture. And if you were to abate that, there's upfront capex which needs to be undertaken. By using 100% EVs that we offer, there's a absolute 100% reduction in scope 3 emissions. Our system has algorithm driven routing, and it saves average travel time between 30 minutes to 1 hour per day is what these savings we offer. Again, as we said in the illustration, on the compliance part, these cabs are 100% compliant. Every data point, checks of the car, documents, driver, his verification, everything is on the system and can be verified at any point in time. The opaque billing part, if you see, these are very, very transparent billing that we offer. We offer instant invoicing solution, OTP based boarding, deboarding of cabs. So there is no opaqueness in the billing and also our operations. And with automated trip management and live location, this is a very safe solution that we offer for our corporate clients. So if you see manual coordination, this has been done away. Anyone using the solution, they can self-roster themselves. It does not require manual rostering and coordination over telephone. Inefficient routing done manually. It's a very connected system. Automated routing done by using both the traffic pattern analysis across the 24-hour cycle as to what part of city would be peaking in traffic and how it goes down. Overall safety of employees and lack of real-time visibility, which largely the system has. So the communication and tracking systems available inside, they are multiple: employee communication, tracking dashboards, vehicle communication itself, and the tracking at our NOC by the central teams and regional teams of every trip which is live and going on. Makes these a very, very safe option that we offer. And as I said, there's no manual reconciliation. These are automated billing and instant invoicing. So anyone who uses the cab, at the time of boarding cab, you get an OTP which you give to the driver. He punches it into the system. At the time of releasing the cab, a deboarding OTP is punched. There and then an instant invoice is generated, and it is sent to the mailbox of all relevant stakeholders. So that's the solution that we offer. Most of the time, I'll delve upon it. Many of us who have used cabs, you would see that the chauffeur at the end of trip would say that you could sign this duty slip and he would fill the closing kilometers once he reaches the garage. So that is where opaqueness and revenue loss to the client was happening. We have obliterated these things by, so once you put the boarding OTP and the deboarding OTP between the two timestamps and the geo codes which are captured, the instant invoicing is done. So ours is a hybrid business model. We essentially run these cabs for our corporate clients in the B2B mode, whether we run it for ETS, employee transportation, or any other kind of service in the form of spot rentals, airport drops, or others. However, when the cab is not being used for one of these modes for our corporate, we also run them on Uber and other demand aggregation platform. We have partnered Uber at a national level for the e-mobility adoption by them. So what benefits do we pass? By getting these EVs, the benefits are at various level in the corporate that takes. For an employee, these are very convenient, safe, comfortable. These are very absolutely noiseless cars. And as we said, we reduce travel time between 30 minutes to an hour's time. So these are the benefits for the employee. At an HR perspective, if you see, since the travel time is being reduced, they also caused benefit, employee retention benefits, health and safety of the employees that the organizations have. At the operations level, these are very reliable ops, trained driver, and there's no opaqueness in the operations. These are tech-driven operations at all time. The cars are compliant, the drivers are compliant, and data privacy compliance at our end is followed 100%. On the finance part, if you see, since these are cost optimized solutions and no fuel price escalation, they give better value for money. So what do we get on the table? The value drivers that make us one of the important and leading players is that we bring management experience of running EVs in ETS and other forms for our corporates. Ours is a build to suit model. So we do not just say that these are the three offerings from us, either accept it or there's nothing else. So we understand the unique transport requirement of an organization, and then we curate a solution around it and offer. We also capitalize upon our own captive as well as public charging network. We have partnered with leading open access public chargers networks, which are available across the city grids. And these are very safety and on compliance. We are following the norms absolutely. Ours is an end-to-end integrated solution wherein we integrate the EV, the charging, and the journey management technology. So, yeah, I mean, if we talk about the entire market size that we are looking at, so it's, I mean, in present time, its industry size is about $20 billion and increasing on year-on-year basis. We have a very collaborative approach. We work with network partners like WBCSD, WRI, Rocky Mountain Institute, the Climate Group, CII, and other leading partners. On the client side, we have some of the consulting companies like Deloitte, EY, ITC, 7N, and others. So the company was founded in 2015 by Nishant and Vipul. We also have Shivkant. So collectively, these three, Nishant, Vipul, and Shivkant, they also are into auto logistics, and they are providing logistics to the major car OEMs in India. Amit Garg is a board advisor. The executive team led by me, Arun Bhandari, and Sunny come with relevant experience in the domain. And we have a very strong team as of now, which leads the operations in Delhi NCR, Hyderabad, and Bangalore, and expanding our footprints beyond that now. So the kind of environmental impact that our cabs have brought in, we have already clocked in excess of 15 million kilometers, 12 lakh plus liters of diesel has been saved till date. And the total number of trees which we have planted is in excess of lakh as of now. These numbers are constantly changing. As I speak, there are cabs on road which are only, saving and abating the carbon footprint to this environment. Our use case of a hybrid model that I showed you of using the cab between B2B and ride hailing was published by COP25 from Madrid in 2018, wherein our operations for EY and Uber, it was covered in this. So what impact have we caused by running these cabs? On the social side, we are creating jobs for the blue-collar category of drivers. There's gender diversity. We run a fleet. There's a part of our fleet is run by all, women fleet in our daily operations, and we are expanding the same at other places. On the economic front, there's, by more EV you run, you are reducing the crude oil import, and the forex drain of country is saved. By running these cabs, there is no noxious gases being released, so health and life expectancy definitely sees an improvement. On the tech front, it's an end-to-end integrated solution that we offer. And on the policy front, we have been very actively working with the government, and we were part of the National Mission on Electric Mobility 2030. So I have been doing policy advocacy on that also. So with this, I come to the end of my presentation and open to questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Gaurav. I'm sure this is an awesome initiative. I think, and your end-to-end app to really signify, and give a lot of value. So if anyone has any question, if you could please unmute yourself and ask question, please. So Gaurav, quick question as to how do you onboard a customer? What are your channels to engage with a new customer for that matter?
We work, the three-pronged approach is that we work through our channel partners. I showed you in the partners like World Business Council for Sustainable Development, the Climate Group, WRI, and others. So with their, we capitalize upon their partner network also in reaching out to clients. The company was funded by Shell in earlier 2020. So even we have been leveraging on that partnership, and we have a dedicated sales team that reaches out to clients. In the post-pandemic world, if I may say, or in the current scenario, I mean, there is a heightened interest in the corporate for taking more of clean, green transport, all other initiatives which are very clean and green, and air transport having a very significant impact. So we are also being reached by clients directly that they want to engage with us, discuss, see our offering, and then presently we are in talk with many such organizations who want to use our services.
Thanks, Gaurav. Yeah, so you have your email ID out over here. If anyone would like to reach out to Gaurav, or also at info@eetaxi.com, or you could reach us at incubatehub.com as well, uday@incubatehub.com, and we are happy to connect to Gaurav. Yeah, so I think Gaurav, that's about it. I think thanks very much. If there are any other further questions, no more questions out over here in the chat, I see. So thank you very much. Thanks, thanks everyone who joined in today. And obviously the speakers, Gaurav, Graham, Ruth, and Gokul, for coming over and presenting their awesome solutions. I think sustainability goals are something which are very critical for organizations, and I'm sure participants would surely leverage and get in touch. Thank you.
Thanks, Uday.
Thanks.